Friday was Dolls Festival, which also means Girls' Day. So in light of that, I decided I would try help out the lost cause that is Noriyori. I waited in the gym for her and met her on stage. I kept reiterating over and over how disgusting Shusaku is. But she wouldn't hear it. I thought I was being quite fair. I was just helping her. Shusaku even overheard at one point and said nothing because obviously I'm right. But even after 10 minutes Noriyori could not see reason and went off with her boyfriend. I found Takaneo in the library area and lamented my problems to her, as well as talking about manga, music and fitness. After the first class I saw green hair leaving. As soon as I got out of the classroom he was sprinting away. I found him in that little lounge area. We started talking about manga and how bad it is. I got his name as well. Takehiko Sozui, so I guess I can't call him green hair anymore. I didn't get to talk to him for long, only 10 minutes. Finally art class was over and I decided to go to that library area. I saw a few people there but didn't care until Hondo tried talking to me like what she had done simply wouldn't affect me anymore. And to make it worse she was talking about Gihei. I told her how she's just as bad as the people she chastises. Anything non-consensual is disgusting, be it a kiss or sex. It's also disgusting that she assumed I was attracted to her at all. A straight man shouldn't kiss a lesbian, and a lesbian shouldn't kiss a straight woman. If she had asked then she would have known that I'm straight, but she didn't and that's horrible. Takaneo came over and asked what was happening. I told her and in the middle of it Hondo walked away, but then turned right back around and started telling me how I was making it out to be something worse than it was. It was apparently just a peck on the cheek, it was apparently only close to my mouth. Takaneo said she didn't believe Hondo and Hondo started insulting her. I thanked Takaneo for believing me and since Hondo was trying so hard to defend herself Takaneo and I left and went to class. A lot of the boys I have issues with sit around me in that class, but they made the right choice to leave quite quickly. I approached Takehiko and found out he doesn't like jokesters. Noriyori overheard us daring to have a preference and got right up in my face. Takehiko pushed us both back a bit and got in between us, then Mizuki stood behind Noriyori and started yelling at me. Luckily for him it was time for the last class. I continued talking to Takehiko as the school day ended but Noriyori tried to insert herself again so I went home. I was pretty damn tired but I still streamed for around 2 hours. I played a dating sim that ended up just sexualizing all the characters, so I took a shower, watched some videos, and called it a early night. Nothing really happened over the weekend. I didn't get drunk. I didn't have any friends over. I did get 1250 yen for my grades being high and I got myself to stop using that stupid work Hondo taught me. I watched a few videos before going to school on Monday. I opened my front door and Takehiko ran right into me. He quickly apologized and ran off but I followed him. He apologized again and I said it was okay. We loitered around talking and I unfortunately found out he doesn't like fitness or music, which is kind of stupid. I went to get changed before doing my stretches and found Noriyori in the change room. I asked her if she was trying to snap photos for her boyfriend and she said she would never. She followed me out into the gym so I started reminding her how gross and horrible her boyfriend is, and she started agreeing. I kept going and she kept agreeing. She seemed like she was being genuine, there's no way. She was so resistant last time I was trying to help her, it must be reverse psychology or something so I went to class. After Japanese Hondo tried to talk to me again. I reminded her of what she did and that I want nothing to do with her before I left for maths class. I opened the doors and Takehiko ran past me. I followed him to where he was standing out the front of the school, but he was still in the gates. I asked him if he was okay, and Hondo ran over and instantly started arguing with him. I reminded her for the 100th time that she doesn't need to be here and everyone would be much happier if she was dead. After a few shoves she seemed to get the message. Maths class ended and I could hear that guy behind me grumbling. I squared up at him and asked what his problem with me is but he just ignored me. I pressed him once more but then I realized Shusaku was creeping up behind Takehiko. I got between them and told Takehiko all about how much of a creep Shusaku is. Of course he tried to defend himself but it was fruitless. The teachers started looming around us and left when Shusaku left. Saikaku came over and I tried to talk about music but neither of them were listening. After gym I was continuing my stretches when I heard that femboy trashing music. I told him his opinions are trash and he just walked away so I started talking to Saburo. It was going well, we were agreeing. Then I brought up Shusaku and he fucking walked away, in the middle of me speaking to. Honestly it's like no one here cares about me and if no one cares about me, why should I waste me time trying to make friends? The final bell went and that femboy teacher's pet started talking behind me. I got in his face and told him to piss off, and he clued me in on the rumors going around that I am apparently prostituting myself. Everyone here sucks, and they should all go to hell. I streamed for 8 hours when I got home just trying to make money. It was exhausting and I wish I hadn't done it. I took a shower and went to bed. I miss my old school. People actually liked me there. Tuesday morning I watched a few videos while eating breakfast before going to the konbini. I brought some onigiri and ramen before going into the school gym to work on my stretches. I saw that pervert Gihei come into the gym. I ran over to talk to her, but then Shisaku called out to me. I got in his face and told him I didn't want to see a pervert like him around here, and he agreed that perverts are gross. It's like with Noriyori. He then shoved me and we got into a fight. I only stopped fighting back when I saw some teachers approaching. Shisaku casually walked away like he didn't incite the fight. I found a gift on the floor which had 500 yen in it. It's been a while since I found one of those. After the first class ended, Half Hair was talking about how great school is. I told her how trash her opinion was and she walked away. Well, I'm not standing for that anymore, so guess what I did? I was smacking her around and she toppled, head first, into the bin. It was the funniest thing I've seen in a while. I wanted to mess with her more, but there were teachers around. During break I heard Mizuki, the guy who used to be too stupid to even speak properly, talking about how great school is. I went over him and told him he wouldn't get far even with studying, so he started going off at me about how I'll die alone. No one cares about me, the stupid sexual favors rumor. I barely got my own insults in before he started grabbing at me, punching me and chasing me around. I got into the gym. I thought I was away from him. I spotted that femboy coming out of the girls' change room. I went to call him out for it, but Mizuki caught up to me and kept trying to start stuff. I was getting really stressed and told him to leave me the hell alone. Before I tried getting a drink from the vending machine to cool down. He gave me one last shove when I went to get my drink, but finally he walked away. I thought about going home, but that would be letting him win. Art class ended and I confronted the femboy, but he completely ignored me. He even turned his head away. I got right up to him and kept reiterating that even if there were no girls in there, it's still wrong to be in there. He left yelling at me to shut the hell up and I saw Shisaku by the bin. I thought it'd be real funny to push him in and I was so close, but then Half Hair had to get in the damn way. I was gonna get her back for that when the final bell rang, but decided the cross-dressing pervert was a better target. But of course he reacted like a child, turning away, gritting his teeth and saying nothing. When I got home I was pretty exhausted, but I still found the time to do stretches, stream for 4 hours, then shower, before getting into bed. Just like Tuesday, I started my morning by watching videos. 8:10 was pushing being late, but I'm starting to not care. I checked the girls' change room to make sure the femboy wasn't creeping around. Noriyori came in and I gave her a friendly tip about the change room creeper. Right as I came out he ran past me. I chased him but he kept staying just out of reach. The bell went and I gave up. When the first class ended the guy behind me instantly tried to start stuff. While I was telling him to shut up, I heard Shisaku telling Takehiko that he tried so hard to be my friend but just couldn't. And Takehiko said he simply didn't care about me. He walked away before I could confront him. I saw Noriyori confronting the femboy and went over to join in. He was being childish again and Noriyori got right up close to me and said how much she likes my style, which made that guy walk away, and not long after I did too. Gym class ended and first break began. I saw the two perverts talking about sexual content and confronted them. This time the crossdresser actually looked at me, but they kept making faces at each other as if I'm insane for worrying about the women that have to interact with them. Eventually they of course walked away, and as I turned around I saw Noriyori insulting Shisaku. I guess it really did work. I should probably be happy, but something in me felt off about it. Of course I joined in at the time, but now it feels weird. After Japanese I continued chastising that femboy, but then Shisaku tried to get involved, so guess what I go to do? I'm so proud of myself. Barely anyone showed up to the last class, but that didn't matter because I had to run out of there to get to debate anyway. Minori and Sumiko weren't there today. It was just me, Katashi, Hiroshi, Hasegawa, and June. Since June was the oldest, he was appointed leader. We played this game called Don't Get Me Started. We went around in a circle and gave each other topics. Someone would rant about being for or against the topic. Then everyone would try to determine if they were actually for or against what they were talking about. You got a point if you guessed it right. We went around the circle 6 times. In the end Katashi got 24 points, Jun got 23, I got 19, Hasagawa got 18, and Hiroshi got 12 points. When I left I saw my dad waiting for me. I don't know why. From what I know none of the teachers saw me getting into fights. I didn't approach him, I just ran as far as I could. Luckily I made it to a bus on time. I eventually got home at 1 a.m. after avoiding every stop.
I'm so tired, no time for a proper outro. I hope you enjoyed.